So yeah, Chang, as you know, we have that intro video first, and then I will do the formal introductions, and then we are good to go. And 1 minute.
Oof, okay, I'm gonna go quiet, but I'm glad you didn't pick the DPZC13, the massive mistake site that I left up on the old Basecamp tag.
Hello and good evening, fleet, and welcome to Dead End Circumnavigation Expedition Basecamp 8 Mass Jump and Talk Show. And someone is fixing my ship. This time I'm with here in my own ship, not in multi-crew as for the last 2 or 3 live streams, but I'm with my T10. Yay! Here she is. And as usual, we have my co-host Macros Black. Hello, Macros. How are you doing? Everything good? No, don't remind me. I don't have my beer this time. I messed up. Because I have been in influenza, so I haven't been drinking. I haven't been able to drink beer, so I don't have any beer now. Well, I live, I think. And this week we have our guest, our scout, Commander Chunk Satame. Hi, Chunk.
Hello, I'll make it up for you. I have a bottle of vodka.
Despite of me being Finnish, doesn't mean that I like vodka. I'm a bit exceptional Finnish person. I don't drink vodka. It makes my head spin.
I drink what's available. I'll say my favorite is definitely Polish, though. I know, shame on me.
So, Jack, how's your expedition gone so far?
It's things are going great. Minus the little hull bump earlier today, which I already got repaired by fellow command. Um, I've been a lot more straightforward and on the line the past month compared to some of my earlier flight paths, shall we say.
So you haven't been messing around or doing any Nimdog maneuvers?
No, there's been no Nimdoc since Christmas, I guess, when I went back to buy my own T10. Of course, beautiful ship.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes, she is. Really beautiful. So what else? What
That is
else
the
in the
question. What
yeah?
else?
Well, what else in the news? Latest news feed from the fleet tells us that Commander Vexicon Matraxis took a detour. He doesn't know how to use the galaxy map. Nice going, Vex. And he accidentally plotted to the opposite direction than we are going for some weird reason. I don't know why. But for some reason, his route plotter plotted to the opposite direction. I really don't know why. So he traveled like was it back 7,000 light years to the opposite direction with the cutter. He's in the chat now, so he can definitely hear us. So we can tease him about it. Uh, let's not be too rough. I know it sucks, but I just can't. I just don't know how that's possible.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. So I.
to be fair, and I haven't done that on the expedition yet. At least I claim. Um, all my routes have been intentional, but sometimes you do like you move around the map and you select something and you're like, oh, plot to this, and then you back out, and then it just says, oh, you have 70 jumps to go, and you just start flying and you don't check the map again for 50 jumps, and suddenly you're 5,000 light years in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it can be a deal with shorter range ships, but I still can't wrap my head around that. But maybe it's possible. I would say it's not. It's not. But yeah, maybe we will shoot onto the questions. Don't you think, Macros?
My background, I as for roleplay or any of that, I'm just myself. Even when I roleplay, I'm just a guy out looking to experience the world, and the world in Elite is very, very big. I've been in game, or I've been flying around for 2.5 years, maybe three. I mean, well before Horizons, but my furthest logs back only go to Horizons. So, but I was always very casual and very casual, but still methodical. So I've always been an explorer. As soon as I got my first 10 million, I bought my Type 6 and I flew off, 8,000 light years from the bubble just to escape. And but I usually have a plan of here's a region, go here, look for certain types of stars, look for certain bodies, look at like name classifications of stars, and scan every single one of those in that area, even if it means I'm scanning 300 systems in a 200 light year bubble. It is interesting to look back. There are very strange bubbles of light green out there, mostly between the bubble and Formidine Rift, because even before the Formidine expedition and explorations, I was just curious about heading out towards the edge of space. And historically, as an American, West is always the ultimate frontier. So that's where I went. In real life, I went so far west that I now live in Japan.
Hmm.
I was not directly, but when I heard about it, I immediately headed out there solo to kind of look around at what everybody else was looking around at, and I did end up, seeing a lot of. I ended up finding the sites, the lost. What do they call them? Lost colony sites, and ended up following people out to visit the Zarutha or Zathura, and that was interesting as well. Going back, because I went through there again when I returned from Colonia, or when I returned from buying my T10 at Christmas, and going back by it and listening to all those comms messages was an experience. The T6 was my first ship, and it it was because back then, oof, somebody just honked me. Back then, people were talking about what is the best explorer for starting out, because we were still talking about before engineers, and all these ship ideas were 80 million credits, 100 million credits, 200 million credits, and I was sitting there. I was sitting there in a hauler trying to explore around the edge of the bubble, and then I looked at the Type 6 and its fittings, and I just kind of figured out for myself that this is a really good, really cheap, proper exploration ship. Um, so I jumped in one. Like I said, I worked my way up to 10 million, which early on in the game for most of us that still took us some time. It wasn't something you just did in a day. And I bought my I bought my 6.5 million credit Type 6, and I flew off into the void. So I've always come back to the bubble whenever there's an update. When Engineers and Horizons and all that came out, it's like, oh, I want to land on planets. Go back, readjust some things, and get a SRV slot in there, and then straight back out into the dark. Oh, um, not per se. My plans, as I think a lot of people probably know, is from this base camp. I'm heading 30,000 light years in towards the core to Colonia to meet and greet the Enigma expedition, which I know we have commanders who have alternate pilots and alternate commanders flying in it. I only have the one account, so I only fly the one ship. But the Enigma expedition is something that I'm highly in support of, even if it's not something I can participate in myself. So if I can at least be there at the end, it's meaningful representation for me
Was,
personally.
wasn't Hal going also to Colonia after this mass jump? I think
Yeah,
he's at.
Hal 900 and I are going to be racing each other. Not actually racing, of course. It's not like Trevor, but we're both planning on getting to Colonia probably this next week. I think the Enigma expedition ends there on the 12th, so I'm hoping to be there on Tuesday for my time.
I haven't even checked how. What's the trip from here to Colonia? How much is it in
It
like?
is it's almost exactly 30,000 from here, but
Oof.
but of course for me I only have to travel about 4 or 5,000 light years normally, and then I get and then oh and then I get to take part in my favorite pastime of neutron running.
Be careful with those.
I'm kind of careful sometimes.
I mean, I thought I can use neutron stars boosts, but when I took my alt commander from Colonia to Bubble, I it was my fifth neutron star and I blew up. I thought that yeah, I thought that I did everything right, but then I just blew up. I don't
It's
know why.
there's definitely there's I won't say it's like a great skill, but there's a skill involved. But at the same time, I mean, you can look at my stats on Ego, the Elite Galaxy Online website. Neutron stars are my single most explored, most scanned star for a reason. uh, I am intimately acquainted with neutrons of every size and shape.
Yeah, I like the neutron star boosts also, but it came a little bit a surprise when I blew up from one neutron boost because I thought that I did it right, but obviously I didn't. It had quite a short tail, but I don't know if that affects. I don't
I
know.
that's the thing, and that's why and people think I'm weird, but I absolutely hate white dwarfs, and everyone, there are people like, but if you could ride on neutrons all day, you would. Why do you hate white dwarfs? And it's because the exclusion zone of the star is so wide, and the tail only extends a little bit past it, that there's a high risk that the tail will actually pull you or flip you around and into the exclusion zone, and then you're dead. So
Hmm.
I don't touch white dwarfs.
Yeah, me neither.
But yes, very. And like and everyone, even the big neutron stars that have like the really huge, millisecond spins with the massive cones, those, when you get out towards the edge, they will physically push your ship away from the cone when you try to enter it. So it's a natural ejection on those. So they're not half as dangerous as people think. It's really the slow, short-tailed neutrons and the white dwarfs that are dangerous. Oh, the best part of that too is that the whole time you're in it, it's slowly damaging, it's damaging your FSD and your thrusters, I believe, very very slowly on your thrusters. But if you sit in a cone long enough, you'll notice your thrusters be like, oh, my thrusters are now at 98%. How did that happen? Um, that's that's actually a you know no, that's not a hard question. Some of these questions you have are pretty standard, but I was like, oh, how do I answer some of these? That's easy though. Um, no, I'm really not, because I think that even though I couldn't be a part of the full expedition, by what I'm doing now, it's enough for it's enough for those in the expedition to recognize my respect and my intent towards supporting it, which is why I'm doing this 30,000 light years in 3 days.
Yeah. This is why we can't have nice things.
That's. Mm, I had not heard about that yet. I'm sure that I would have from some of the other commanders that I know and people that I'm talking to in the Enigma expedition. But I don't keep up with everything. I just kind of, it's like every couple days I'll talk to somebody about what they're doing. Um, but that's really no, I don't want to be too harsh on commanders playing how they're going to play or flying how they're going to fly, but that's an act like that
Yeah,
is
that's.
needless. It's needlessly harmful to everything in the community,
I think it's
and
lame. That's.
it's that's there's nothing positive about that. There's not even anything that you can be like, haha, I trolled some group and it was fun. That's just pointlessly harmful. You're just doing it to cause harm, and
Yeah.
that's that level of that kind of negativity. Like I don't mind people joking. I don't mind people trolling. I don't, even if it's like, the guy who trolled me when I first started playing the game, who was literally just farming my ship every time I tried to leave a damn station. It's like, okay, that was years ago, and I can laugh about it now. At the time, it made me mad, but at the same time, it made me a better pilot and better commander overall. So that one guy being a dick to me made me a better person in a way, because I found a way to get around it. I found a way to get over it. But why would you want to intentionally harm a station that represents something so positive? It's needless and pointless. Well, that is a net positive, I guess, because when if people are just going to intentionally be harmful and destructive, they are going to be seen as the bad guy, like by everyone. And the more they do it, the more support they give to the people that they're opposed to. And the people they're opposed to are people who are literally just flying together to represent their support of a commander suffering from a terrible, terrible disease. Well, that that is good, and like you say, there are other commanders who might not have known about the expedition or might not be a part of it who now have. Jeez, who is that? Wanderflow jetting around. There are commanders now who have an opportunity to, and he flies right in front of me. Thanks for that, Tom Cruise. Nice flyby. There are commanders who now can show that they do support this, even if they couldn't be a part of it. There are, there are combat pilots and people who mostly stick to the bubble, who are like, I don't leave the bubble. That's not what I do. But they can still show support now. So, ooh, you're gonna ream me over this one. Um, it was it was originally a joke from a friend of mine who knows that I play the game. So he knows that he knows that I did play casually and that I was always interested in going off into the void, reaching the real edge of darkness kind of thing. And he found out about this through forums that I didn't know about because I didn't even use the forum. You can look at my forum thing. I didn't even make a forum account until the expedition just to register for it. And so he was like, "Hey, here, this looks like something interesting." And I think Henka and some others will tell you, I got into the Discord. I was in the Discord even before I was on the forums, and I was talking to people, and I started getting help about building an expedition ship that wasn't Type 6. It was the Explorca, which I am now in love with, 5 months later. And it it was just a, haha, wouldn't it be funny if you actually did this? Because they're planning this crazy, ridiculous expedition that's going to last an entire year. And that's just the kind of insanity that you would do. And so here we are, and I'm loving every moment of it. I'm a fan of every other commander here, of every other commander participating, and there are people that we look at and we see, everybody's flying their massive exploration ships, but for me, seeing people like, you know Wanderflow in his little ship, or Janta in his Type 6, people who are here just to participate and pushing the limits of what everything the game is designed to prevent you from doing to achieve this amazing long-ended goal that does require a lot of commitment, a whole year's worth, and I love it. I love it. Yes, maybe it is insane. Maybe it's completely nuts, but I love every moment of it.
You're gonna make me cry. That was so beautiful.
I love my friends from all times past. This is a guy that I played. I've talked about tanks before, and this is a guy I played tanks with, and so like that's how we know each other is from blowing each other and other people up with 30 to 50 millimeter armored piercing shells, and but yeah, we're still friends. We actually have our own private Discord where we all talk sometimes. You'll notice I spend a lot of my time in the Discord. I'm not on the forums very much still, but it's just the Discord chat is it's more conducive to actual conversations, and so that's where I spend my time. I am not fully sure. I think he was looking into getting into the game, but he doesn't have a very powerful computer. He's running on a 2 or 3 year old i5 core processing laptop, basically. But in his search into the game, because it was a new or top forum post at the time, I think that's how he found it. And then he just told me about it because of that. It pretty much was, yeah. It was just absolute chance and serendipity.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting 13 ships or 14 ships at the location at the moment. It's nice. That's nice, really nice.
I think this has kind of been covered, but my objectives and goals are just to participate in it, but at the same time now, and this is why I asked Henka, and I'm really glad he's given me the opportunity to be a scout, is because of how I fly, which obviously I'm not very casual anymore. I have the chance to go ahead, move forward beyond everyone, and look out and reach out at things, and then bring those opportunities and bring that the potential experience back to other people, and that's also just part of who I am. Period. That's why I'm a teacher. Is don't crash into me. Oh, that was close. Sorry, Wonderflow is. Yeah, he's really showing off. But that's why I'm a teacher. Is I have been there before, so here's some cool stuff about things. I'm not going to tell you what to think about it, but here's some cool stuff to look at and make up your mind about it however you want. And Hank has given me that opportunity by making me a scout, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Yeah, well, we had problems back in was it before Christmas or 2 months ago, something like that, because our scouts were dropping like flies.
Oh, that was a BC.
There
was
was
that
this
7 or 6?
There was this
We
situation where only scout who was alive was me, and it was like this is unacceptable. I think,
yeah, I heard you had a couple. Somebody died, and then other scouts were leaving the
yeah,
expedition.
yeah,
So
it was quite a shitty situation, and I decided we need more scouts immediately because it was uneasy the situation, and I really didn't like it because I wasn't sure if I had the time to scout, and I was the only one who was ahead of anyone else. So I was the only option, and I really didn't like the situation.
well, for me, I mean, I can post my flight logs and everything, and you can see how ridiculous my flying pattern has been before crossing the southern meridian. Before what was that, BC 5, BC 6, but once I got past that point, I really was at a personal place in the expedition and in my personal life where it was like, I am gonna fly 6 to 10,000 light years a day. There's no reason for me not to go ahead and try to help out and then come back if I want to or whatever. And the timing on that just worked out really well. And like
Yeah,
again, I'm really grateful for Hank. I know Hanka and Magros here, both or Raysock. How do you want me to call you, by the way? Rasok, Rasok, or Flip, Rat, or Flurblero.
yeah, he's macros to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Macross then.
Yeah,
Sorry,
me too. Yeah,
but you know,
I can't say. I can't say his name. Fleur, blah, blah, blah. I need a couple of beers. Couple of
but
beers.
but but the
Yeah,
end of that
but
story is that basically, I was already going to be 8 to 10,000 light years ahead of the expedition main body, and while I like flying with other people, and I've done that, and while I like seeing other people, and I've met other people all over the place randomly, I am still a kind of a lone wolf flyer. I like to be out there in my own space, and because I'm that far ahead, there's no reason for me not to be helping and making things easier for the expedition in any way that I can.
yep.
Oh, that was fun. Like I only got to
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
got
It
to do
was.
the one, and I came in second to last, and that's only because Johnny got launched 5 kilometers in the air by a geyser. But that was
Yeah,
that was so much fun. It was, even if it's only 4 or 5 SRVs at a time, it was fun just because other people were there and we're all doing it together.
I really can recommend it to everyone. It was really fun because, uh, although I lost my SRV, but I am hoping I'm getting it back from support soon.
And I'll say also the site, while it was as a landing zone for a lot of ships, was kind of compact, a little rough, but for the SRV races, it was perfect because it had that one massive rock in the middle, and then it had the geyser field that you had to drive around. It was a great site for that. Like,
Yeah, and we have to do it again sometime at this turn. DECE.
it also had a little
Well,
landing ledge that I kept parking on, back
well, it
behind
wasn't paid.
everyone, up on the edge of the cliff. Just in
It
in
wasn't paid.
general, it was good. I still think my favorite is Platypus, even though that was the one that I wasn't there for.
Yeah, I really like Platypus Plateau also. It's one of my favorites.
I'm proud of my first find, but even I won't say it's my favorite. Platypus was my number one.
And what comes to Basecamp 9, we really have to give some regard to Commander Grant Macron EI-66 who scouted that because he had only like 4 days to find the location.
Yeah, was it even that? I think he was
Yeah,
still heading there. I think he only had 2 days or something to find it technically,
yeah,
and he,
because
he did find a great site. It was the sites that I were looking at were pretty much in a straight line, and he went out on the edge and found an amazing spot. And I'm jealous. I'm genuinely jealous because it's beautiful.
yeah, and he really had little time in his hands, and that's a bit also because of me and Macros because we decided that a bit too late. We could have decided to expand our base camp like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But if it's unclear to someone why we are doing that, it's because so that we can make it to Beagle Point by the first week of May when Beagle Point expedition arrives to Beagle Point also. So it would be really cool to meet them in person there at the same time. And
Yeah, I was gonna say like what I'm doing personally to go meet Enigma, which I know there's at least three other commanders in DECE who are also there on alternates, so I can wave at all of you guys again. Being there at Beagle Point and having two expeditions meet each other is that's just an amazing idea, and I'm in full support of it. I think it's great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it helps. Helps. Yeah. So you just have to. If I'm going to keep up with my T10, I know you will with your anacondas. So. Hmm. And it's 4 minutes until mass jump, and now I have to remind you all that there's 3,000 light years from here is our mass tag system. It's I don't know if you have bookmarked it, but I will put a reminder to forums and to Discord. So when you leave from here, remember we have this mass tag system and check EDSM before you tag, so you know what to tag.
Prue Isle UT Z D13 16.
Yeah, I have it bookmarked also. It's right about here. So this is our mass tag system. So be sure to bookmark this and leave your tag on your way out or in.
Oh, also the rules. Remember ED discovery and check EDSM on what bodies are already scanned.
Yeah, and in any, if possible, do not scan the main star. It's already been scanned by the founder, Erwin Liamson. So when you arrive to the system, do not scan the main star. Yeah.
Um, I like my job.
you're,
uh,
you're an
uh,
exception.
out for Elite itself, I like mathing. I like looking at my own personal numbers and then just extrapolating how the universe in Elite, at least, is and possibly how it works. I didn't like math. I didn't. I'm talking about Stellar Forge. I did not like maths as a kid, but as I've grown, I have a natural affinity for it, and I have really found myself enjoying just trying to kind of reverse engineer how the whole construction of the universe works inside the Elite Dangerous space. That's all my own personal stuff, but I mean, you'll see me talking with
1 minute.
You'll see me talking maths and numbers with AW sometimes about like planetary orbits and masses and gravitational pulls on masses to radii and stuff like that. So it's just
1 minute.
it's kind of just a casual hobby, on the side, but it's something I enjoy and have fun with. And we
Everybody
got
ready
30
with
seconds
their
to go.
nasties? Yep. Get ready, people.
Um,
Ready to engage.
yeah, to quote one of my favorite movies, for as cheesy and corny as it is, be excellent to each other.
That's good. Let's go. Let's go. And here we go.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Nice. Really nice. Very pretty, yes. So, that was Basecamp 8, Last Jump, and talk show with our guest, Commander Chang Tsautama. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was nice having you. And next talk show at Mass Jump, less surprisingly, in at Basecamp 9 in 2 weeks. We will see you there. Thank you and good night. Yeah. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for having me on. That was fun.
Nope. Just stop that stream. Yep. Yep.
No,
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna fly 6 to 10,000 light years a day. So anything I can do to help make everything easier for everyone else, I'm willing to do it. That's not something I plan on doing in Distant Worlds 2 in a Type 10, but yes, I'm taking a T10 as a repair slash fuel carrier, basically.
I'm taking my Corvette. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if they change how Limpic controllers work. where the limpet controller is a single module, I might also set it up as a miner for picking up objects as a to support the ship, the mega ship that they have planned.
I wouldn't be counting on too much on that megaship plan. There's so many things which can go wrong. So
There are my main plans are basically, if the mega ship is a no go, I can fly a T-10. That's a support. It's a support utility. It does repairs. It does fuels, and
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. But we'll see. There's still time.
I think it depends on how soon they actually get them out, and if Distant Worlds can build one before the expedition starts. Most of them are static though. They just sit where they are. I think Cannon. That's what I'm. Yeah, Cannon have a ship, and theirs is the only ship that's actually moved. But because they can do it with one ship, there's no reason that Distant Worlds shouldn't be able to do the same.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the voice chat. I do appreciate chatting, and I might spend more time in the general circumnavigation voice chat if other people show up there.
Yeah. I should do it also more. It's a shame that we do have a voice channel, but no one uses it. Compared to that Enigma expedition crew, they're using it really actively. But for me, it's I really don't like that push to talk. That's the biggest issue for me. I really hate push to talk.
Well, I don't know if Discord does this, but you might be able to limit it where mods have voice activation and everybody else has push to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really have to get them more to use that voice channel because we do have it, so why not use it?
It was great. It was great to be here. It was great just to talk with you guys in general. I mean, anytime.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think I am. About 31 light years. No. But yeah, I really like the ship, and I was at the I think 31 light years. It's not a problem to Beagle Point. It really isn't. Because after all, I was at 26 light year Python at the first distant wells. So. Mm-hmm. That's nice. Yeah. Really? I haven't really followed that conversation, that beta. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I decided long time ago that if ever there would be distant wells too, I will take my Corvette. I was thinking also my Python, just for the sake of because I had it on the first distant wells, but I have kind of this principle that I don't want to go with the same ship twice. So. Hmm. Yeah. 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 I don't think those basic stats change much. So. Anaconda is and will be the most popular ship among explorers, and I don't think that it's going to change for a long time. Mhm. No, I don't think so. I don't see why they would kill aspects. Hmm. Yeah, it's considering that Distant Worlds 2 is almost a year ago still. A bit weird to choose a ship already because it's a year. Anything can happen. So, but we can change our ships many times. Yeah, I already messed it up. So if I want to, yeah, yeah, I don't know what I did there, but if I want to change my ship, I have to reach out to Gohan left. So I try to keep things unchanged until the very end. So I I can only imagine what it's like to be in like Gohan Let's boots at the moment, or in Erimos's boots, or imagine their inbox. Yeah, but still, imagine their inbox. Yep. Yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah. Yep. I wonder how long they're going to keep the registrations open. So, okay, yeah. And we have Harry Potter also, and people are now concerned about that Harry Potter is also. I don't really know why, because if you fly in Fleetcom, there's no panic, there's no worry. But I really can't suggest that you go in to fly in the open, because that's where Harry Potter is free to do whatever he chooses. Hmm. I remember. Yeah, yeah. I'm not too worried about Harry Potter. I intend to. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. And I don't know those PvP people so well, but a friend of mine said that there, at the least at the roster, there was few other PvPers, well-known cankers also than Harry Potter. So Harry Potter isn't the only one. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah. But that's still like a year away. So he have this thing called DECE to take care of first. I was actually surprised that we had so many ships at the mass jump. I considering that we have had like only 5 people at the SRV race, so I was quite sure that we have only like 5 ships at the mass jump. Yeah, despite of we saying that you can get it back from support. So yeah, that's true. I don't think so. I don't think so. I had like 50% of hull and I used premium repair, so that really shouldn't have happened, but it did anyway. So yeah, I was flying in the air and landed and boom. Yeah, it was really. Yeah, I was really close to my ship. Yeah. I don't know. Might be. Yeah, I this was yeah, this was second time. First time was back in no, actually, it was Trigemi Norm, and I died in the crater. But yeah, there's definitely something fishy about the SRV damage when there's multiple commanders around. Yeah, really. Yeah, well, yeah, but that can't be that can't be the case how stuff works. Mm. I think support is they have been bringing back SRVs quite nicely. I don't know anyone who has been denied the SRV. No. Yeah. Yeah, it's freaky. Yeah, it's like whatever you do, don't lose your SRV when you're alone because then you can't tell them that there was other commanders around. I think they can see from the game files or the logs that I really did use premium repair and I had 50% of hull left. No, I didn't take a video. Sadly, I didn't take a video. I don't know why. Should have, but I think they will see it from their own logs. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been playing it much because I really don't have the time. I was in influenza for over a week and it's been just real too damn busy to do anything. And I'm bit waiting that it would get a bit more updates because it's quite buggy at them. Yeah. So many games, so little time. What can you do? If I would like to play and stream all the games I would want to play, I should resign my job and take a divorce. That's just the case. That way I would have some time in my hands. Yeah, that's the downside. No, I can't. I was just kidding. No. I would be very satisfied if I could only quit my job and wouldn't be dependent on the money. But as long as I'm dependent on the money, I need my job. Just well, funny that you mention it. I just made my Eurocheck, but I didn't win anything. I do it every week. No, I got the shop because if I would make a subscription, it would make me look like I'm a game addict. So if I go to the store every Friday, I'm not an addict. I just like to play Euro Jackpot as casual. Really? Yeah. Yeah. Really? Wow. Yeah. My card haven't been. Maybe. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. My card haven't been copied any ever, I think. But I know there is skimmers around. Yeah. 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 Yeah, but imagine if that company card was used for like 10,000 and then you go to work and your boss asks, "What have you been doing in Budapest with this card?" Yeah. Mm. Oh well. Yeah. Well, in Finland, all the politics drive taxi cabs around and we pay for it. That's just how things roll here. Hmm? Hmm. Yeah, that's. That's bad. Yeah. No. Hmm. Doesn't look good in your resume. Yeah. I have my personal computer laptop in my work laptop, and I use it quite a lot for surfing the internet. I should be using it for, doing a job. But on the breaks and whenever uh, I don't have work to do that much, I use it for surfing the internet and reading forums and reading frontier forums and stuff. And I'm just waiting for the day when some boss comes and, Henry, you have been using this computer for your own pleasure, so own personal business, so we have to take it away. But I don't think that's going to happen because I really need that in my work also. But it's just a thought which comes to my mind every now and then. Then someone comes that you are using it to for your own internet surf. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I used mainly just to read frontier forums and like EDSM and stuff like that. I don't actually do that much surfing, but it's a privilege I have because I'm a cabinet tester, so I need there's all those electrical pictures, drawings in the computer, so I have to use that for that. Hmm. Yeah, I'm getting better. Was Yeah, thank you. It was nice talking to you. Yep, bye.
Just below is the cabin home of